this okay, so this boy became a full-time devotee. He accepted brahmacharya. So in ISKCON, there is a tradition called brahmacharya. Actually, in Sanatana Dharma, there are 4 varnas. One is brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. Okay, so brahmacharya is a ashram uh, which allows you to study scriptural study under a supervision of a learned person. Okay, so that is called brahmacharya. This brahmacharya uh, this brahmacharya will be given to, actually this brahmacharya was given to everybody in previous yugas. Okay, that is called the student life. Okay, now that we have got into a lot of material study, so we lost the tradition. Okay, now there are very less gurukuls, okay, who offer brahmachari the ashram. Okay, and ISKCON is one who still follows that tradition of offering brahmacharya diksha to young young boys. Okay, so they study scriptural study under supervision of a learned person, a learned guru, and they'll be given certain time for, like, in ISKCON we give 8 years of time for a person to be in brahmacharya ashram. After 8 years of time, so in these 8 years he'll be wearing the saffron clothes. You might be seeing very young people wearing saffron clothes. Don't misunderstand that all of them are sannyasis. They are brahmacharis. Okay, sannyasi is the one person who holds a danda, which is called tridandi. So the young boys who are wearing saffron, they are called brahmacharis. Okay, so they will have a time of 80 years. Okay, these 8 years they'll be doing a scriptural study. After finishing of 80 years, then they will approach their master and they will express their future plan, whether they want to get into grihasthashram or they want to still continue the Naistic brahmacharya. Okay, so if one wanted to continue grihastha life, so his spiritual master will give permission, and they will find a nice devotee girl and they'll get married. They'll start the grihastha life as devotees. Okay, this is how the original tradition used to be in previous yugas. As and when the Kali Yuga progressed, this tradition was lost. Okay, so there are many successful, hundreds of successful families who are like that in ISKCON. There are many family communities in ISKCON like that. Okay, so this Raghavdas Brahmachari, when he was given a brahmacharya diksha, so he was very new to this philosophy. He was very active in doing kirtan, and his constant companions were Tribhuvan Das Prabhu and the Krishna Das Prabhu, whom Ratnavali Mataji met. So what happened? This Raghavdas Brahmachari, he was so much fascinated on a Indian girl who was a devotee in the same temple where this brahmachari was there. The temple is located in Edinburgh. So whenever this girl used to come to temple, he used to feel shy, he used to follow her, and he used to admire her little bit. He was little bit showing interest, a lot of interest on her, and all these activities were being observed by Dhenuvati Mataji. Okay, so she was very close to this Raghavdas Brahmachari. Okay, so she used to warn him, don't do, you're a brahmachari, you should not, have interest on any girls like this. I mean, he was not he was not misbehaving, but he used to have interest on her. And one day what happened, they were traveling to a different place to perform Sankirtan. Okay, so 3 of them, Krishnadas Prabhu, Tribhuvanath Prabhu, and Raghavdas Brahmachari, they were traveling in a van, auto, and it was night. They performed kirtan and they was returning back. It was night. Suddenly, Krishnadas Prabhu, who was driving the vehicle, he fell asleep. So he could not control the van and he hit. And it, however, what happened? So Krishnadas Prabhu and then Tribhunath Prabhu, both were injured little bit, but Raghavdas Brahmachari, he was dead on the spot. So the he was sitting in the middle. So the front chair or something, it got and it it got stuck in his abdomen, and his abdomen was severely injured, and he was dead on the spot. So they were so upset, and they were like crying, because he was a wonderful friend of them. And they wrote a letter to Prabhupada. Prabhupada replied them that, please conduct a memorial program for Raghavdas Brahmachari. I will also pray for his well-being. I will pray Krishna that, he should have a devotee life again, because he could not complete his devotional life. So like that, Prabhupada replied, they conducted a program, and done. After that, nobody discussed about Raghavdas Brahmachari. Everything was done. Now, when this Ratnavali Mataji, she recollected that, she understood that she was Raghavdas Brahmachari in her previous life. So Raghavdas Brahmachari, he was died in the accident in the year 1973, and in 1975, in the state of Madhya Pradesh, India, he took birth as a woman, and eventually this woman became a devotee, because this Raghavdas Brahmachari, he was having that past life impressions within his heart, attraction towards Lord, towards Guru, towards bhakti, and this attraction, this interest made this lady to become a devotee again. And but because of mercy of Lord, this Raghavdas Brahmachari, he still, the memory is still uh, there to this Ratnamali Mataji, even after getting rebirth. Now, she could not, she was shocked. After hearing this, after having this memory, and she was able to find out the close things which Raghavdas Brahmachari used to use, and she could take all others to the Raghavdas Brahmachari's room. She should show that, this was the instrument I used in my previous life. Like, she got this memory back. And what this Ratnavali Mataji did is, she went to Dhenavati Mataji, and she asked, could you please take me to that woman whom I was admiring in my previous life? And they went to that Indian girl's house, and she was in 50s then. When this Ratnavali Mataji saw that woman, she was shocked. Or Ratnavali Mataji was just like a twin sister of that Mataji. Her name was Satyavati Mataji, whom Raghavdas Brahmachari was admiring in his previous life. So her eyes are both of their eyes were matching. Their complexion was matching. This physical structure was matching. She was like stunned looking at the Satyavati Mataji. And then, again, she recollected that, Krishna says that so since in my previous life, I was at the time of death, so I was thinking of this woman, so I got the same body like that. She recollected, and, later on, after some time, what this Ratnamali Mataji did is, she could not continue her grahastha life. She was regretting. She was thinking constantly that I have wasted my life. I could have devoted, I could have done the devotion service more. Like that, she was so much thinking and regretting herself. And what she did, she spoke to her husband. She gave divorce. Both of them mutually, they took divorce, and they're friends still. And this Ratnavali Mataji, she joined the same temple where she used to be when she was a Raghavdas Brahmachari, and she's continuing her devotional life. So 2010 onwards, she became a full-time devotee after giving divorce to her husband, and she joined. She's continuing her devotional life. So for her, Prabhupada says this life is a second chance. Okay, so use it properly. Okay? So all of us, we did some portion of devotional, some, we had some interest in devotional life, we did some spiritual practices. That's how we again got a chance to understand scriptures. It is not easy thing that, one getting in contact with Krishna consciousness, because Krishna says, Bahunam Janmanam Antya Jnanavan Mam Prapadite Vasudeva Sarvamati Samahatma Sudullabha. It is after many, many lives, one will get a chance to understand Krishna. One will get chance to get devoted to Krishna. So once if a person does little devotional service to Krishna, Krishna will not leave their soul. He will remember that soul forever. He will help him to progress again. So Krishna, he himself assures in second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he says that Neha Vikramanashosti Pratyavayo na vidyate Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya. So you can understand from the story of Raghavadas Brahmachari. So though he was Brahmachari, but he was not following Brahmachari rules strictly, but still he did some little spiritual practice. Okay. So usually those who fall from spiritual life, they get, hellish. You cannot imagine what kind of birth they are going to take. But those who advance little bit in Krishna consciousness, Krishna will take care of them personally. Okay. So again, this person became a devotee of Krishna. Okay. So that is what is the interesting thing about Krishna consciousness. That is what is devotion to Krishna. So Krishna devotees, when they try to become devotee of Krishna, what they ask Krishna is that, from the beginning in Krishna consciousness, it's trained that, we pray to become a devotee. Okay. Neither salvation, neither mukti, whatever it may be. We only want to become a devotee of Krishna. Like that, they pray Krishna. So when somebody does prayer in this way, accidentally, if somebody could not become perfect, even if he takes another birth, since they were always praying to become a devotee, that devotion will continue. So when you're a devotee, obviously, you will have that philosophy within your mind. So things will be very easy for you to manage. So Krishna says, Purva Bhyasena Teneva Hite Avashopidat Jignasurapi Yogasya. He says, those who die without being perfect, so they will have this memory or spirituality. Okay. So this spirituality is the one thing that will follow you for lives and life. Whatever material position, property, education, relationships, whatever you are having now, they will not follow us. Only the spiritual knowledge, the spiritual interest, the bhakti that you do will follow you. So you can see, some kids, they'll be reciting slokas wonderfully. Kid will be of 3 years, he'll be reciting Bhagavad Gita slokas, he'll be reciting Vishnu Sahasranam Stotra. Where is this knowledge coming from? Who taught him? So these kids who perform wonderful devotion service in their childhood are the devotees who could not who could not become perfect in their spiritual life. So they take birth and their knowledge will start from where they stopped. Okay. So this has been assured by Krishna in 6th chapter when Arjuna asked, what happens to those who could not become perfect? So Krishna says, yes, if they don't become perfect, they will get a life where they can perform, they can start their devotional life peacefully. Okay. So this is about the reincarnation which happened, which is a true story which happened within the ISKCON, how a Krishna devotee with the mercy of Guru will be saved even after taking repeated births. Okay, it's not that we have to try for another chance. We have to settle the account within this month, within this life itself. Like Shankaracharya says, Runanubandha Rupena Pashupatni Sutalaya. So all these relationships, whatever material positions that we have, this material relationships that we have, we are indebted to them. So we have to settle the account and we have to clear off, and we have to get ready to go back to Godhead, go back to God, to the God's abode. Okay, so that's about the reincarnation. Okay, so then we will now discuss about difference between body and soul, and the next topics. Okay, so here there is a small exercise. So before we get into that, so like, can anybody say something uh, you know uh, about this particular instant, the true instant which took place within the ISKCON? Can anybody say a few words, couple of lines?
Sir, hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, sir.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Go
Sir,
ahead.
okay, that is true story, sir. My question is,
Uh-huh.
see that soul means that accident happened in 1973,
Right,
and again in 1975 the birth took place.
right.
So within these 2 years, in our period, 2 years with Kali Yuga period, so
Mhm.
so where that soul went means somewhere these 2 years it has somehow passed all the circles.
Right,
Positive, negative, we don't know, I think.
right.
So it traveled somewhere between some places, I think, basing
Oh.
on. So that is the question.
Yeah, nice question. That's a wonderful question. Your name,
73, 73 death, and again it happened on
2 years gap.
75.
So what happened within these 2 years is what. Right?
Where that soul traveled. See,
Nice.
generally, whatever you said is right, sir.
Yeah, it should.
Even in newspaper also we see rarely that it something it happened like that long back in Uttar Pradesh. If they verify also, yes, it happened like that. It will be there.
Right, right. So you want
As
to
it is
understand?
human, as it is human being, we could able to identify
Okay.
with our senses and proof.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'll tell you. Your name, Prabhuji?
Vedula Vamsi Krishna.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. So, in 1975, 1973, Raghadas Brahmachari was dead in an accident. Okay. So, there is a journey of soul given in one of the Purana called Garuda Purana. Soon after we depart from this body, the soul departs the body. So, if he is a very pure devotee, so the Vishnu, the servants of Vishnu, they are called Vishnu Parshadas. They will come. They will take him they will take him to Vaikuntha Loka. However, if the person has both, good karma and bad karma, so the Yamadutas come. They take him to Lord Yama, and the Lord Yama decides. Okay, so where he should take birth, and if he has done completely sinful activities which are against the scriptures, then he will undergo the punishments, the hellish punishments. Okay, and after having those punishments, again he will get a chance to take rebirth. Okay, so you can there is a after 73, 74. After 74, to take birth, once from the stage of fetus to baby, it takes 9 months. Okay, so 1 year this soul was in the womb of mother. Okay, so there is a wonderful description given in Bhagavatam that when the soul enters into the mother's womb from the father. Okay, so there is a um, description given, like what happens after 2 days. It becomes a bubble in the womb of mother, and after 5 days, it becomes like a small fruit. Okay, and after 2 months, it becomes like this ball size, like that. The different progressive stages of the fetus is given in Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, and at the stage of eighth or ninth month, the soul gets the remembrance of the previous life, and the soul starts praying to God. My dear God, please, I could not complete, I could not become perfect. So let me please give me a chance, so that in this life I'll become perfect. Like that, the soul prays, and it requests God to give another chance to become perfect. And after that, in the 9 months, the soul takes birth. But these prayers are also given, so they're of deep understanding. So that's the reason I'm not sharing. Otherwise, if you enroll for our future Krishna conscious ISKCON sessions, we'll definitely, give you all those information. But now if I share, it will become a heavy topic. So there is a step-by-step information. You will become, I'm telling you, no modern science could describe such, clearly how the Bhagavatam described about the stages of fetus. Okay, so this Bhagavatam was written by Vyasa Bhagavan in 5,000 years back. How could they know that those time they didn't had any modern instruments? Now, if you go to a doctor, without taking help of any modern instrument, they can't analyze what's the position of the baby in the womb, how it is growing or not. But it was understood by those rishis. Okay, so we have to accept that when it is giving such authentic information, we have to accept those scriptures. We have to try to preserve, read them. Okay, so did it answer your question, Vedal Krishna Prabhu?
Yes, sir. Another thing, sir. As you said, mother will take 9 months. No, sir. In which month? I don't know exactly. In which month that soul will enter in the mother womb? In which month period that?
No,
whatever
soul,
the soul will enter. That's what they say.
okay, so soul will be there, but it gets the consciousness. Okay. So when Paramatma, his energy enters, then the consciousness will develop. Okay. Uh, as I said, there is a breakup given clearly. So, I mean, we will discuss it later, okay, because it will become a very heavy topic. We cannot go further. Definitely, we will answer your question in future, Prabhuji. I'll tell you, how this concept
Prabhu, Prabhu, this has been given in Bhagavad Gita. They will be either in, depending upon the good deeds or bad deeds, they will be
Yeah.
either in Goloka or Bulaka. After they finish that quota, they will be sent back to Buloka or Naraka, depending upon the deeds. And what we get in the soul, we get is either animals or anything. There are
So, like, those
64,000,
who,
depending.
yeah, those who,
Depending upon our karma, we get. But we
yeah,
finish that what we have done good deeds, and then we'll be pushed back to the Buloka.
yeah. Arjuna asked this question to Krishna: what happens to those who practice and could not become perfect? Krishna gives, nice answers. They will take either in a birth of a pandit or, in an aristocrat family. Like that, he gives description. So
Yeah.
the ones who get animal life is the one who never had any inquiry about the spiritual knowledge, the truth in the present life. These people, the atheistic, those who don't have any, inquiry about, those who only live for eat, sleep, mate. Okay, those who live only for these four things. These four things animals also does. And if a human being also doing, for him it's better to have an animal body which does not have any rules and regulations. Whenever it wants, it can eat, sleep, and mate. So those who does not have any spiritual inquiry, those who don't do any spiritual inquiry, any spiritual practice in this life, there is a danger for them that they might get a animalistic life in their next life. Okay. So we'll proceed further in this today's topic, because there is a small exercise given, how the soul, travels and all. Can you see these famous personalities and identify? Can anybody name who are they? What their names?
Mother Teresa, Albert
Obama.
Einstein, Rahman, Obama,
Nice.
Barack,
Mm.
and
Wonderful.
Steve Jobs.
Einstein.
Wonderful. So these are the present
Raymond.
pictures, the most recent pictures of
Chinta
these.
Raymond also is there.
Yeah, thank you all. So these are the present, and I mean the most recent pictures of these famous personalities. So could you please identify them in these pictures? I'll play a few more. Could you please tell
No.
me, who is this person?
No, we can't.
No, I can say the second one from the middle one is Obama.
Okay, this is Obama. Okay.
Yeah. And then the first one, the second line is Elizabeth.
Okay.
Yeah, like bodily
And,
features
Fine.
Yeah,
can
yeah.
help us.
Okay.
And
These
the
are
third, the
Okay.
middle one is Mother Teresa.
Right. So these are the pictures when they were young. Like you have correctly said Obama. These are the pictures of Obama when he was young. Okay. These are these are the pictures of can you identify these two? Okay. So what
No,
are these are the pictures of A.R. Rahman. These are the pictures of Steve Jobs. Okay, when they were young. Okay. So some of us, we could not identify these famous personalities when they were young. Okay, why did you because when the body changed, like dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tata dehantara apraptir dhiras tatra muhyati, like that Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So when the body is getting changed from boyhood to teenage, from to old age, okay, so when the same person who was in childhood, we are unable to make out whether this person is the same person whom we are seeing now. So here the body is changing, but the soul is remaining the same, right? So do you
Yeah.
accept?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
these are early pictures of the same personality, even though they look different later, but we somehow made out. So here what we need to understand is the body is changing, not the soul. The soul remains the same. Okay. So we remain the same only body. So the soul, the constant companion, okay, we remain the same only body. Only body keeps changing. So from boyhood, teenage, middle age, then the old age. After that, death. So, like, we are not the body, we are the soul. Okay, if one understands this philosophy properly, they will definitely have they don't fear for anything. So why did Krishna trying to tell this philosophy to Arjuna in the battlefield is that because Arjuna was looking, Arjuna was identifying the you know who are in the war as their relatives. So the Arjuna is trying to identify them with bodies, but Krishna is clarifying they are not bodies, they are souls. So the soul does not have death. Krishna wants to confirm that so that Arjuna gets this knowledge and he will get ready to do war, like that Krishna was telling. Okay, and they are exactly the material, the nature, body and the soul. The difference is like they're exactly opposite nature. Soul never dies. There's a description given in Bhagavad Gita. It's a we will see that description. What are the features of soul? Okay, so soul never dies, never perishes. Soul is Sanatan, the oldest of oldest. From the time Paramatma is there, the Jivatma is also there. Okay. So. To sum it up, constant or eternal. The soul is constant and it is eternal as well. However, the body varying and temporary. So the body perishes as and when the time passes. The body also passes through the different stages and it gets perishes. Uh, so as I was quoting this sloka, dehinosmin yatha dehe, as the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita that Vasamsi Jirnani Yata Vihaya Navani Granati Naroparani Tata Siriraya Vihaya Jirnani Anyani Sanyati Navani Dehi. So the way how we change our clothes, okay, when they become dirty, in the same way, the soul changes the body at the time of death when the body perishes. As per the karma, as per the, like, everybody will have certain time to leave. Once the time is finished, done. The soul leaves the body, no matter whatever place, with whatever relation you are in, with whatever social position you are in, it doesn't matter. So the soul leaves at once. We don't have clarity of the time. You can see, some people suddenly they will be talking to you and done. So they will just fall like this. Some people, so young, so young, they meet with an accident and immediately they leave. So painful stories. Okay, so we have to understand that that is their destiny. That's it. However, we can change our destiny. Okay, it's not that we cannot change anything. Okay, so in Gita it is said, "Nashato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate sat abhayorapi drishtanta tvanyas tattvadarshibhi." Those who are seers of the truth, those who are seers of the truth. Truth means, can anybody tell what is truth? It is also called as tattva. May I see some responses?
The truth or tattva.
Yes. What does that mean?
That means it has been destined to be like that.
Okay.
It is eternal.
Okay. Nice. Any other answers? So the truth means the one which is permanent, eternal. Okay. What is that? What is that is permanent, eternal? Jivatma and Paramatma. Okay.
Yes.
So Jivatma, Paramatma, both are eternal. Eternal. They don't die. They don't. I mean, it's like foolishness. Talking about their perishing and all those stuff. Okay. So so those who are seers of truth. Okay, those who inquire about these permanent things, they conclude that of non-existent endurance and the existent, there is no cessation. These series of study concluded. One moment. Okay, have concluded studying the nature of both. Okay, those who are seeds of truth. Who are these seeds of truth? Means those who do the practice of devotional service, those who are in spiritual path. They try to understand the permanent nature of Paramatma and they try to establish the relationship with God. They conclude that, okay, so the body is temporary, okay, but that which is permanent is always there. This is what they conclude. Okay, the people who have knowledge, they conclude. So so I request everybody to be on mute. So when you're asked, you can unmute and you can answer. Okay. So thank you. So like those who are seeking, okay, those are seers of truth. Okay, those who want to understand the permanent nature of Paramatma, they concluded this. Okay, why Krishna is saying that they concluded it? Why he is not saying that I am telling? Because Arjuna, Krishna wanted Arjuna to understand that intelligent people will think that soul is permanent. Okay, so Arjuna, Krishna wanted Arjuna to be under a category of intelligent. Krishna wanted Arjuna to think as an intelligent person, not as a sober person. Okay, that's the reason he's saying that they concluded. Okay, but the knowledge is been given by God Himself. He says that in 9th chapter, Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutashe Sthitaha. He says himself that no, I am there in everybody's heart. Okay, so these are the some facts about the soul. Okay, the soul seated in the heart of every living entity. Okay, and the size of the soul. Okay, can anybody see the size? Can anybody read this?
1/10,000 the tip of the hair.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Next point.
Conscious. It is conscious.
Okay. Next point. Anybody?
Unchanging does not undergo 6 kinds of changes.
Okay. So what are the 6 kinds of changes? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, and the other sufferings. Okay. These 6 changes soul does not undergo. Only the body undergoes. Next, somebody.
Eternal, full of knowledge.
Okay. Next, anybody?
Seeker of God.
Okay, great. Next.
Fireproof.
Unbreakable.
Waterproof.
Waterproof.
Thank you all. Thank you. So Krishna says the features of soul in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, "Na enam chindanti shastrani, na enam dahati pavaka, na cha enam kleda yanthyopo na soshati marutaha." Soul does not get perishes. It does not get burned. It does not get drenched in water. It does not go away by the air. Okay, so it cannot be cut into pieces. Okay. Like that Krishna describes about the soul. Only the body is the one which undergoes all these sufferings. Okay, so the soul, when it leaves the body, it goes back to its normal stage. Okay, so this is one good information which is given in Vishnu Puran. So this sloka is given in Vishnu Puran. It says that Jalajanava Lakshani Stavara Lakshavim Shati Kramayo Rudra Sankhya Pakshinam Dasalakshanam Trimisal Lakshani Pashava Chatur Lakshani Manusha. So yesterday we discussed one thing that there are 84 lakh species are there. Okay, so the breakup of 84 lakh, this 84 lakh includes birds, animals, human beings, aquatics, reptiles, on all those stuff. Now here an information is given like what is the number of each category. Okay, now in the next slide we will try to understand. Okay, so can anybody unmute and read about this? So first one.
Human species, 4 lakhs.
Okay.
Quadrupeds, 30 lakhs.
Okay. Anybody else?
Birds, 10 lakhs.
Wonderful. Anybody else?
Insects and reptiles, 11 lakh.
Wonderful. Anybody else?
Trees and plants, 20 lakhs.
Okay. Next.
Species in water, 9 lakhs.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mata. Thank you, everyone. So human species, 4 lakh different varieties of human species are there. Quadruples means the animals which has 4 legs. Okay, so they are of 30 lakhs. Birds, insects, and reptiles. So this is the breakup of the 84 lakh species. Okay, so if we don't do proper inquiry, proper sadhana, our spiritual life, then there is a threat that we may have to undergo any of these animalistic life. But once you get in contact with Krishna, once you listen the name of the Krishna, then you are, as I said, Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. You will get out of, you will get rid of biggest danger in your life. That is this. You will definitely get the human form of life if you are not perfect in Krishna consciousness, but you started some practice in Krishna consciousness. So he assured, because Krishna, if you look at this personality, his name is Mukunda. Mukunda means Muktim Dadati iti Mukunda. So this personality is there to deliver the human beings, to liberate the human beings only. He delivered ghastly Rakshasas like Putana, he delivered Aghasur, these Rakshasas, they tried to kill Krishna. But still, when they got killed by Krishna, they got delivered. Okay, so when Krishna is delivering the Rakshasas, why don't he glance on us when we are trying to impress him, when we are trying to love him? Of course, he will. Okay, so that's all about today. So that's the reason, always try to inquire about spiritual knowledge. Take some time daily, read Bhagavad Gita at least for some time. So these good habits should be constantly practiced. Like the way we eat and sleep, we also have to spend some time understanding about the spirituality, because this is the only knowledge that is going to accompany you. Even if you change lives. Okay, so when you're it's not that you should stop all your material activities and you have to completely involve in spiritual life. No, there is a process given in scriptures how to practice spiritual life. Brahmacharya, grihastha. From grihastha life you have to do some spiritual activities. What level of spiritual activities you have to do when you are a grihastha, and what level of spiritual activities you have to do when you retire from your grihastha life, and what level of spiritual activities you have to do when you even progress further to this next ashram called sannyas ashram. Okay, so this information is given, but it's up to you, up to us, whether we take that information for granted or we just leave it off. Okay, because see, in the material life we earn a lot. We struggle a lot to earn our livelihood. We become rich, somebody become poor, somebody will be at a good stage. When you are investing your sweat and blood to earn money, why do you burn it just like that? You reinvest that to make yourself comfortable in spiritual life. If you're not making yourself comfortable in your spiritual life with the material possessions that you have, then they're of no use. So you earn a lot, and if you only have for a person who has only girls, for example, let's understand, all his earnings will be taken over by his son-in-law. If a person has only sons, all his earnings will be taken away by his daughter-in-law once they depart, once they die. So you understand the philosophy, logic. Whom are you earning for? Whom are we earning for? Are we so all our life is being spent to give our savings to somebody who comes in contact with us, whom we don't know at all. Of course, there are relatives, but first of all, you have to have a plan in your life, how much time you spend for your material activities, your earning, your, all those stuff, and how much time you plan for your spiritual activities in a day. Like it can be 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour, but that should be done daily. So there will be some hectic schedules we might have, but today we have a wonderful advancement in technology. We can carry mobile, we can install Bhagavad Gita, we can open Bhagavad Gita wherever we are sitting. It's an office, home, bus. I sometimes even read Bhagavad Gita. I sometimes chant holy names. I chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra in my office cab also. I don't mind how people think of me, but when other religions, they pray in the office, why are we not doing that? So this is what where we are lagging. We as a Sanatan Dharma, we hold the highest knowledge in the amongst all the religions that we have. We have to preserve it. We have to practice it. We have to preserve it. We have to practice it, and this is for our sake only. Okay, so ISKCON offers a lot of such courses voluntarily, freely. Okay, please, I request all of you to enroll such courses and progress in your spiritual life. Okay, so that's all. I want to stop here. Thank you for joining today's class. So officially the class is over for today. So if anybody has any questions, we can take. So if somebody wants to leave, they can leave. Or if you want to stay and understand the questions that have been asked by different devotees, you can stay back.
Sir, Hare Krishna, sir.
Yes,
Can
Prabhu.
you take this slide of soul of having that slide, sir. No, soul is in between, and what are the properties that is there? No, that slide.
This one.
No,
Okay.
qualities, characteristics of soul.
Okay,
In
characteristics.
the end, yeah.
Okay. Is this the one? Okay, one moment. So is this the one you're talking about, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
I think he's disconnected.
Okay, fine, no problem. So okay, so anybody has any other questions?
Babuji, can you please go to the slide for the Asmin?
Okay, 1 minute. Okay.
2 slides. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So the underlying statement here, the soul similarly passes into another body at death.
Right.
So when is that event when the soul chooses the next form around the death moment?
So soul does not choose the body. It is and the vasanas, the present life impressions that are there, that will be imprinted in the soul's nature. Okay, so to fulfill that, those impressions, whatever place is good enough, there the soul will be placed. For example, you heard of the story of Raghav Das Brahmachari, right, Mataji?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, so there was a brahmachari who who was thinking of a woman at the point of death. So later on in his next life, he got a body of woman with the same characteristics of the woman whom he was thinking. So here, soul did not wantedly choose the women body, but the previous impressions what it was carrying made the soul to get placed in a women form of body with the same features of the previous woman whom this soul was thinking of at the point of death.
But even to have that impression, how does that happen? Isn't it because of our own desires?
Yes, correct. So everybody will have.
And then,
yeah.
So again, at like one more deeper level, all the desires have. What is the source then in that aspect? Essentially, recently I've been wondering, like, what is the role of our free will?
What is the role of
free will that we
free
have
will?
in life?
Okay, yeah, free will. Okay, yes.
So is it correct to say that source of desires or impressions, the major impressions that we end up carrying throughout our life or by end of our life, are they like somewhere built because of the free will, the choice of free will that we make in life?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you're right, Mother. We have free will of choosing the things that we get in contact with in this material world. So when we, like for example, to understand easily, a person is there. Okay, a person is there. He has a choice. Okay, he choose to love a girl. Okay, so that is his decision, that is his intention. Okay, and he also has a choice to avoid loving that girl. Okay, if he's intelligent, he can make out whether to love that girl or not. Okay, free will is there to choose to love that girl or to avoid loving that girl. Okay, but if if the person is spiritually advanced, then he will make a decision, intelligent decision, whether to go ahead with that desire or not. If he does not have any spiritual sense, he will follow the dictation of his senses. Especially when you look at a woman, yeah, Hare Krishna. So he will go according to the dictation of his senses. Whatever his senses desire, he will go with that. Okay, and this becomes an impression. This becomes a karma, and this leads him further.
Right. So essentially, okay. Can I extend my question a little more?
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
So even to make that choice,
Mhm.
we somewhere make use of our intellect and the impressions on mind.
Yes.
And the mind is activities of minds are associated with the memory.
Okay.
And again, even the level of intelligence to understand our memories or the present experiences is also given by God Himself. Then how can we say it as a free will?
Okay. So you said that free will is there, right? So the intelligence.
Yes, it is. It is there, but then in one sense, it is also given by Lord Himself. So how can we say that we have free will?
Yeah. So Mataji, did you attend yesterday's session?
No, Prabhu.
Okay.
I
Fine, no problem.
today.
So yesterday we discussed about a topic called karma, how this karma works. Okay, I quoted a sloka from 5th chapter, 5.15, 5th chapter Bhagavad Gita. 5th.
Okay.
God says, "Nadate kasyachit papam na chaiva sukritam vibhu ajnane vavritam jnanam tena muhyanti chintava." He says that though I give when the human being desires. Okay, so the desire is not given by God. The fruit is given by the God according to the pious credit that human being, that living entities has. Okay, so obviously you're right. God is giving everything, but there is a condition, that is human wants, God grants. So we want, and it is been granted by God. Okay, and this grantingness depends upon our piousness, or whatever karma what we have. So for example, if a person is having a desire that I want to become a multi-billionaire, okay, it is not that of course I can have that desire, but I should also have something previous credit to get eligibility to become multi-billionaire, right? I should have struggled, I should have studied well, I should have did something, okay, or I would have done lot of charities in my previous life, so that this life I can take birth in Ambani's family or somebody, so that without putting any effort I'll become a billionaire. Okay, so we desire, God fulfills based on our pious
Previous pious past deeds. Okay. Then there is another example of Dhritarashtra. This might not be related to our class today, but is it okay to ask?
You can text me, Mataji, if it's something
Okay,
not related to this class. If
yes,
you're in that group, right? You're in the WhatsApp group, right?
Not yet, but once
Yeah, my name is Gangadhar. Yeah, you can text me.
Jain has a question, Prabhu.
Yeah, Anuj Jain Prabhuji is our sincerest, Prabhuji, he joins daily. Yes, Prabhuji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, I want to ask about tea and coffee. I think these two are considered as Rajasi foods. And I also understand that because these are Rajasi foods, we cannot offer these to Krishna.
Okay.
And if you see 90% of the people, they start their day out of the bed and they start with tea or coffee.
Okay.
That is where they feel that they get the energy and all the laziness goes away.
Yes.
So is it right to have tea and coffee? And if yes, then and we also believe that what you cannot offer to Krishna, you should not eat or drink also. So is it a contradictory statement to make? So what is your view on this?
Yeah, so like those who are in, those who are serious about spiritual life, okay, they avoid these small things as well. For the convenience of devotees, those who are habituated to this tea and coffee. So we, ISKCON centers, we invented a product, caffeineless coffee. Okay, so this tea coffee, they contain a product which develops the rajasic gun, which slightly kind of a I can to be put it simple, kind of a drug kind of thing. So like you'll find sugarless sugar in medical shops. Okay, so in the same way, in ISKCON centers, if you go to the gift shop of any ISKCON, you find caffeineless coffee powder, and same like the tea as well. So you can buy them and you can have them, so that your desire of having tea in the morning can be substituted with these harmless products. At the same time, you can offer them to Krishna as well.
Sir,
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Welcome, Prabhuji. Any other questions? Anybody?
Sir, it got disconnected. Sir, can you take the slide of that?
No,
Atma, sir?
Prabhuji, 1 second. Hello.
Yes, Mataji.
This is my first session today. So I missed your last 2 sessions.
Okay.
So how can I listen to the session?
We are sharing recordings in the WhatsApp group, Mataji. You are in the WhatsApp group, right?
Yeah. Today only I've joined.
Okay, great. Thank you for joining, Mataji.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we are sharing the recordings, and we are also uploading these sessions in our YouTube channel as well. Those will also be shared in the WhatsApp group. You can get into those 2 topics which you have missed.
Okay. And one more thing, what you have said about this caffeine thing is like, yeah, it is correct. In neurology, actually, I'm a student of molecular medicine and stem cell technology. So
Okay,
we have a subject called neurology. In that, what you said exactly is correct. Caffeine, it is considered as a drug. It is same as in a cigar, how we have nicotine.
Yes.
In caffeine, like in all this coffee powder, they have something called caffeine.
Right.
That will, it is a stimulant for
Right.
a brain, for a neurons.
Right.
So it will addict, it is morely like, it's most like it will addict, it works as an addiction.
Right.
So it is better to cut it off.
Right.
This, all this tea, coffee. And that
Yes.
is the scientific reason behind it. Yeah, I wanted to say this.
Yeah, in spirituality also, it has been told from ages to avoid these things, tea, coffee. These tea, coffee are being, introduced to us from Britishers. Okay, they started.
Yeah, I know this thing.
There is a long story, but our Acharya says put them avoid. But please don't take it. Those who are very much fond of that, those who cannot start their day without these 2 products.
Yeah.
I leave the option to them, because we are not going to force anybody to change their habits.
Yeah, and also it is an addiction.
Right.
For few people, if they don't take tea or coffee on time, they feel so stressful, and my head is aching. They'll be like, my head is aching. No,
Yes.
I have to take tea right now.
Right.
I've seen people like this. So yeah, it works, and it is an addiction actually. So it's better to cut it off. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji, for letting us know about the scientific reason as well. Thank you. So please do join our future classes as well and listen to the recordings.
Yeah, that was my next line. I was about to ask this. How can I attend more classes? Like,
yeah, just tomorrow we have session, and day after tomorrow also we have sessions, and future also we conduct many sessions. You are in that WhatsApp group, right?
Yes.
Future programs that we schedule, we will communicate as per your convenient. We suggest that please take a step forward and join in all those sessions.
Sure.
Okay. So maybe you may be losing you may not be able to attend few days, but you can still continue by hearing to the recording sessions, so that the continuity will be maintained. When you have continuity in spiritual path, the progress will be soon.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So sorry to keep you on hold, Vedala Krishna Prabhuji. So
Yes,
please.
sir. That slide I want.
Prabhu, there is one question on the chat
Yes,
box.
this slide.
Yeah, we will take Vedala Krishna Prabhuji's question and then we will go to the next one. He was holding a long time.
Sir, that point, eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. Does it mean that Atma, whatever there in our body, it is has knowledge, or that sentence I'm not, and seeker of God means though I'm there in my heart, some Atma is there, that Jyoti. Seeker of God means each and every Atma means it wants to, seeker of God means I want to think of God, I want to think of God. Does it think in those two sentences only? I want clarity.
Okay, so the original position of Atma is to be happy. Okay, so when you will be happy when you get in contact with permanent things only, not the temporary things. Okay, so however, when we get into this material world, we will forget our original nature because we get in contact with Maya. Okay, so this Maya, this Maya, what it does is it makes us to forget our real position. So our real position is that we have to become a servant of God. We have to serve Him. We have to serve. We have to love Him. This is the real knowledge position of the soul. But when it gets in contact with Maya, it forgets its position. Okay, though it is eternal. Okay, if you go take example from Bhagavatam scripture, the super soul who is Paramatma God and the human soul, the Jivatma, both are like friends only. It says, both sit in one tree like that. So we forgot that position and we are wandering in this material world. Okay, and this Atma which is sitting in the body, it is said in Bhagavad Gita that Yatha prakashatyekah krishnam lokam imam ravi kshetram kshetri tata krishnam prakashyati bharata. So in the 34th sloka of 13th chapter, it is said that so the Atma sitting in the heart of every human being, it is seated in heart, but its consciousness is spread towards the body. Okay, at the point of death, it withdraws the consciousness from all the parts of the body and it leaves. Once this consciousness is withdrawn from the body, then the body becomes dull, numb, no sense at all. Okay, so that's the position of Atma, how it is spread towards the body, and that is the nature of the Atma, to become constant companion of God. So did it answer your question, Prabhu?
Yes, a seeker of God means it thinks always about the God, that Atma.
Okay, it should think about God, but it should.
All Atmas may not go in that direction. That's what he meant to say.
Correct. So the Jivatma has its free will. Okay, so some choose to become devotee of God, some may not choose, and as long as they don't choose, they don't travel in spiritual path. They will be in this material world only. Okay, those who choose to become devotee of God, they will go to the abode of God. So this abode of God is called Goloka, Vaikuntha Loka, different spiritual worlds. Okay. Okay, so the description of these spiritual words is given. Okay, Krishna also says that Brahma Loka Punaravritino Jana Mahamupetyatu Punarjanma na Vidyate. He says, so wherever you go in this Brahmand, in this whole universe, you will have to take rebirth. Okay, however, if one goes to the abode of God, Punarjanma na Vidyate, there won't be rebirth again. That's what Krishna confirms in Bhagavad Gita 8th chapter. So we have to think, whether we have to have a permanent residence or we want to have a temporary residence roaming here and there every now and then. So that wish is left to us only. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So any other, Prabhuji, who had a question? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu, I posted one question in the chat box. Could you please check it?
So Satyaprasad Prabhu, you were saying?
Yeah. Yeah, Prabhuji, I am unable to concentrate on puja, namasmarana, bhajana, etc. for 1 week and losing interest in the 2 weeks. Again, I'm getting interest and again I'm losing. This is happening continuously. How to overcome this?
Okay, whose question is this?
Mine.
This is
Okay,
Chepodu
Srinath
Srinath.
Prabhu.
Yes,
Srinath
yes,
Prabhu. Okay.
yes.
Okay, yes. Okay, that's a good question, Prabhu, who is a sincere seeker of spiritual knowledge, okay, who wants to travel in spiritual path. Yes, the concentration goes away when you, think much about the material things, Obviously, it is right, we are involved in job, family responsibilities, all those stuff. Apart from this, beyond all of this, we have to understand our original position. Where are we coming from? We just understood that, how the soul passes from one body to another body, and how there is a threat of, taking different bodies. Okay. So when you understand this knowledge, okay, so there are different levels of understanding. Okay. So one hears from here and leaves from here. So that kind of listening we should not do. So in Bhakti it is said that Shravanam, Kirtanam, okay, Shravanam is the first and foremost thing that we have to follow. We have to constantly make a habit of listening to some spiritual topics, okay, which will keep us which will with which we can still be in contact with spirituality. Okay, so this will enable us to practice our spiritual practices regularly. Okay, so no matter, today we have mobile phones, okay, we have good devices. Wherever we are, okay, we can plug in, we can put in your we can have an headset, and we can start, whether we are traveling or whether we are cooking, eating, whatever it may be. So it is not that, hearing is, for hearing there is no rule. Okay. So it's better if you can, take out complete your time, sit in one place and hear. That's wonderful thing. But, when you don't have such facility, you can hear it whenever you want. While eating, while, traveling, put the headset, hear, be in contact. So the ultimate thing is that for you to be in contact with spirituality, you determine, you decide how do you want to continue. There are no rules. So you determine, you can choose the way, but I suggest please do Shravanam regularly, so that you will have the tendency of doing spiritual practices regularly.
Yeah, sure, Prabhu, sure. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. So anybody else has any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Gitanjali Mataji, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay,
Prabhuji, I'm not clear with the concept of consciousness and soul. The statement you mentioned somewhere, saying that consciousness is transferred at one stage during the embryo growth in the womb. And here, while explaining on this slide as well, you mentioned that from heart, where the soul is sitting, it is spread throughout the body.
Okay.
The consciousness is spread throughout the body. So
Right.
how is it different? These two are different, and then how do they function together? Or I'm not understanding it.
Okay, so I said, like the sun, we see the sun is placed in one place, but his rays travel completely towards the earth. Okay, so he spread his rays, his glow, light is spread everywhere, but sun is at one place only. So in the same way, soul sits at one place, but the glow of the soul, the glow of the soul is called consciousness, that is spread across the body.
Okay, then why it has chosen the place heart, not any other organ in the body?
Okay, so the heart is the, it is called Hrudaya Kamala. So because Lord said that, Ahamatma Gudakesha Sarvabhuta Shestida. He says, Sarvasya Chaham Hrudi Sannivishto. The Lord says that, I am sitting in the heart of everybody, And so Paramatma and Jivatma both are constant companions. They are like, friends, Jivatma is always a servant of Paramatma. So wherever Paramatma is there, there Jivatma is there. But you might get a question when God is there constantly with Jivatma, why is he allowing Jivatma to take different births? As I said before, so Jivatma wants, Paramatma grants. Okay. So we ask different desires, we develop different mentality. Accordingly, God, gives that position for us, but that particular place to fulfill our desires and all those stuff.
Then how do we understand the term coined by Prabhupada, Krishna consciousness, connecting soul, a Jivatma, living entity, with the supreme super soul and the supreme soul?
Okay, so I did not understand your question, Mataji. So first of all, are you clear about first two questions?
Yes, like you gave an analogy of sun radiating the light, and that's the way consciousness is spread. Yeah,
it is been told by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. So,
yes. So I am just like trying to understand that soul, it is eternal. It has the qualities of Supreme Lord as well, and eternally they are associated.
Okay.
It's just that it's the free will which is essentially creating the barriers between these two.
Right.
And we also say that we are parts and parcel of the Lord, and we are serving. We should be eternally serving Him in any form, any given condition. So, and then you also mentioned about so many species, and within human yoni itself, there are so many 4 lakhs of them.
Hare Krishna.
Will text you multiple questions in a series.
Okay. So your question is like, when soul is constant companion of God, why is he getting all these,
Yeah, why are we even here then? Like, why do we even come to material world when we have that connection with God already? And then, and how are we like, what determines to use our free will? And then, I mean, I don't know if I'm framing my question correctly, but
yeah, that's absolutely correct, Mataji. But you're unable to phrase the questions. You have some doubts. This is a wonderful quality of questioning, Mataji. This is called Brahma Jignasa. Trying to understand about the nature of the soul, relation of the God. This is called Brahma Jignasa. So Shastra suggests Athato Brahma Jignasa. So one should have this Jignasa. Then only one will progress in spiritual life. Eventually, they will get rid of this life and death cycle. Okay, so you're telling that when the soul is constant companion of God, why is he suffering all these births? Is that the one line question that you want to ask, Mataji?
Yeah, but then reason for getting into life and birth cycle is our desire. And I mean, the way we discussed today, it is the impression that we carry at the moment of the death. So, which decides our next journey after life, present life. And then, even if in human form, if we are understanding this whole dynamics of being parts and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and yet we are forgetting every moment. I mean, most of the time we end up forgetting about the Lord, and that's how we. So, I mean, why does it has to happen in first place? Why do we have to even get away from God? I mean, from where what is the starting point of it? In one, if I have to like put it that way.
Yeah, of course. This doubt everybody will have. Okay, what is the start? Where did we start all of a sudden? Okay, so it is said that the soul is Sanatan. Okay, it is oldest. Okay, so to answer your question, so you have the questions, and you also have the answer to some level, Mataji. Like, we are suffering, we are revolving in this life and death cycle because because of our constant desires. We don't have a desire of being with God constantly. We want to enjoy ourselves. We want to enjoy. We want to become Lord Ishvara. Ishvara aham bhogi, siddhoham balavan sukhi. We have that kind of tendency. I want to become the Lord. I want to kind of tendency we have. So that is not possible in the spiritual world. Okay, so that is possible only in the material world. Okay, so Shastra says two examples. Okay, so this, if I say, you may get confused. So that's the reason I. But still, I'll say. So Shastra say that you know the pastime of Jaya Vijay. Who were.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So they were.
Hiranyakashipu.
Yeah, they were denizens of Vaikuntha Loka. They were the residents of Vaikuntha Loka. So they took birth, as Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, Ravana and Kumbhakarna, and Dantavaktra and Shishupal. Okay, they have to undergo this because they could not have the qualities that were supposed to be possessed in the Vaikuntha Loka. So they misbehaved with the four Kumaras: Sanat Kumara, Sanat Sujata, Sanaka, Sananda. Okay, so these were the exalted personalities. They could not behave properly with them. Then hence they were cursed. Okay, so they were sent to take birth like that. So our first and foremost position is that we were in the spiritual world only.
So is it okay? Then can we say that we have committed multiple offenses there, and that's why we got unqualified and
right.
Okay.
So again we have to go back. That's the reason we say go back to Godhead. Back to Godhead. Why we say is that we were back means we were there. We were there. That's the reason we are using a term called back. If we were not there, go to Godhead, we used to say. We should have said go to Godhead, go to God's support. But we say, our Shastra says, go back to Godhead, because our position was with God, and we could not behave properly. That's the reason we started taking birth in this material world, and it's been continued from cycles, kalpas, yugas. It's been going on like that. So that's the reason, after many, Krishna says, that's the reason, after many lives only you get Bahunam Janmanam Antya Jnana Van Mam Prabhadita, he says. After many lives only, one intelligent person will take spiritual path, and after taking spiritual path, he constantly engages, meditates upon me. He constantly does devotional service to me, he says, Krishna. So when you get in contact with Krishna consciousness, it means that after many lives, you're getting this chance. So you have to use it properly to go back to God. Okay. So did it answer your question, Mataji?
Absolutely. To some extent, yes, but I still have like multiple of them in mind. Can I, if we have time, I would like to like put another question which I wanted to ask.
So is that related to today's topic, Mataji? Is that related to today's topic, or
reincarnation? I mean, we can connect to that concept, but okay, Prabhuji, I will talk to you later. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Okay, you can do one thing, Mataji. You can, ping me WhatsApp. You are in the WhatsApp group, right?
I'm not sure. I didn't think I am,
So
because I received this link by another Prabhuji, Sharat Sahu Prabhu. Yeah. So.
Okay, I'll give you my number in the chat. You can ping me.
Okay,
yeah, you can just leave your number in the chat box.
Yeah.
We'll add you in the.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I'll do it.
13902. Okay. So this is my number. I'm putting in the chat, available to everybody. You can ping me if you have any questions which are not related to the present topic, which are which you want to get clarified. So I'll reply you on that to my best level. So anybody has any other questions?
Then we can stop.
Okay, great. So thank you all for joining today's session. So keep joining these sessions, which are very, precious, I say. Okay. So we will see you tomorrow again. Same.